escuchar las notas del himno nacional de Surinam.
Just underway here, early on, a minute gone by in this matchup between Mexico and Suriname as the Concacaf Futsal Championship gets underway with group play here today from Nicaragua. This is Group A, and Mexico coming into this match favored over Suriname. Mexico in the light blue and Suriname in the red, white, and green. Mexico ranked 6th in CONCACAF coming in this event here today. Suriname 3 places below them in 9th. Coming up later on today, also in this group is the powerhouse Costa Rica. They will be facing Haiti in their first match. This is the first day of group play in this event that will go from today all the way through the final on April the 20th, and it carries significant weight as it will be used to determine the entrance from CONCACAF in this year's Futsal World Cup. Mexico making their 8th appearance in this tournament, trying to qualify for their 2nd appearance at the World Cup. Suriname, their 4th overall appearance in this event, and they are trying to qualify for the World Cup for the very first time. Lost in the quarterfinals of this event last time out, and that was some 3 years ago. And this is an event like football's World Cup that is held once every 4 years. Now Mexico controlling possession here and looking for that early opening. Working the perimeter here and conceding possession. Suriname typically will sit back and they'll absorb that pressure and then use these opportunities to try and hit on the counter. This time a little more deliberate here in their buildup, as that will go out and be played back in by Suriname as it went off of Miguel Limon. Played in by Marcelinho Plet. Gillian Matrick is the player here with it, going up over the top. Also difficult in tight quarters to get those balls that you play over the top through the air to your teammate who's trying to control, bring it down. He's got a defender on him, makes it very difficult. Here's an opportunity for Suriname, and it's deflected in front and in for the game's first goal, just shy of the 3-minute mark. It is Ike Adams who gets Suriname on the board with the 1-0 lead. Oh, that was well played. Splitting defenders and no one. Picking up Adams. He's there at the side of the post. Alfonso Rodriguez had no support, and all Adams had to do was basically guide it in. So Suriname out front early here. A surprising start. 3 minutes deep here in this Group A matchup. Maybe that will bring Mexico to life here. Miguel Limon, number 7 in blue, going 1v1. Suriname defending deep here. And you see how tight the marking is back near their own goal, unlike what Mexico just produced that allowed Suriname to get that opening effort for a goal. Shot blocked here, trying to play it across, and that's always difficult, threading it through defenders there. You got to cover so much territory in order to accomplish the pass. Now Mexico with a transition opportunity here. Give and go, and it's 1-1. That was a dandy play, finished off by Daniel Soltero. And a quick strike retaliation for Mexico to level this match just shy of the 4-minute mark. Soltero making the run, getting the return pass, and that was the key. He never stopped his run, split the defenders, and then the one-time finish for the goal. So Adams, followed by Soltero, and we are tied at 1 here. Substitutions for each side, and it's essentially an opportunity in futsal to have these rolling substitutions. It doesn't slow it down like we see in traditional football, more like hockey, in the sense that you kind of just keep the game rolling along. It doesn't lose its pace or its rhythm. Also no opportunity for the traditional time wasting that we often see. Now, just into the game here, Andy Sanchez. controlling up top near midfield. It's a kick in instead of a throw in case you're new to futsal. Miguel Giorgana coming in off the bench. He makes the run, gets the return pass here. A lot of red shirts though behind the ball. And just guided wide. Mexico got in deep, and Rashim Pancho, the keeper for Suriname, was kind of in a difficult position. But Mexico unable to convert. Now Suriname, since the goal, their first time to get on the ball and try to work it forward. Mexico in this championship over the years with one medal. It is a bronze. They are 6th all time in terms of total medals from the Concacaf region. Costa Rica has dominated over the years. The U.S. staying in 2nd place, then Guatemala, Cuba, Panama, and Mexico just outside the top 5. But they would certainly like to improve that here beginning this year. Errant pass here as it gets over the foot of Sanchez and out over to Suriname. Unlike Mexico in traditional football, where they have always been a potent force in CONCACAF, the Mexican Football Federation has always prioritized the outdoor game, futsal. With a ways to go, they have lagged behind, but now trying to make more of a mark. They've invested more in the program and now trying to climb the ladder into the top 5 in CONCACAF. Pass cut back, comes back out to Giorgana. And from a tough angle, that was going to be hard to find its way through to the net. No support in front of goal either. And now our referee making sure the goal is back on the end line there. And rolling it out to Nazario Dosberg. Controlling from the back, always a very pivotal position because you're the last line of defense, but also you kind of are the quarterback initiating the offense, dictating where to go as the build-up play commences. Didn't go anywhere that time. And Mexico, after falling behind early, had the quick response to tie the game, and they have been dominating possession ever since. Half a dozen minutes deep into this 20-minute first half. Edgar Giorgana. He'll make the run as he lays it off. Giorgana. Now back to Sanchez. And he gives it away. Can Suriname play on the counter here? No, they give it away. And now a dangerous 2-on-1 for Mexico. And a terrific save made by Pancho. It was point blank, and that was the best save here of this game. Now Suriname at the other end. And another good save is made by Alfonso Rodriguez. His defender is also there to clean it up. End-to-end action. That is the signature of this futsal game. Now is Magana playing it down deep. Back out to Giorgana. Tries to get it on his preferred left foot. He's taken down. That's a foul, and it'll be a set piece for Mexico here. Giorgana probably could have kept his footing there, but he knew that because of the contact, if he went down, he was probably going to draw the whistle. So the first set piece of this game. As you see, another difference here in futsal. The clock is stopped when the ball is not in play. 13:07 on the clock. The keeper comes out to help form a 3-man wall here. And the shot is blocked at that far post by Lorenzo Donner. Because it's tight spacing, the keeper can do that. He can come out, be part of the wall, and still recover, unlike the outdoor game. Sanchez drops it off, looks to get it back. Here he is. Eddie Sanchez coming in off the bench. Luis Magana now. Mexico trying to work the ball quickly in possession. The one-timer just misses wide. That was Giorgana. Nicely designed play for Mexico there, and a pretty good shot. Had a little bit of a gap to work with, and now Mexico defending high up the pitch, winning possession back quickly. And Suriname spending a lot of time defending. Since that early goal, it has been all Mexico on the ball here. And Suriname has been forced to play deep in their own end. That's the challenge in futsal when you don't have a lot of time on the ball and then all of a sudden you do get possession. You just don't have that flow to the offensive philosophy of your game, and it takes a little while to get your touch right, to get the weight of your passes, to start connecting things when you're spending so much time defending and not possessing. Substitutions for Mexico here, some fresh legs coming back on, and that shot just deflected wide. Mexico will play it back in. Almost serving like a corner kick here from deep in the Suriname end. And they'll do it once more. Now an opportunity, played off the line. The shot that time coming in from Abraham Atri, and Suriname against the run of play takes their second lead in the first half. What a shot from a tough angle, slotted in by Lorenzo Donner. Haven't hardly seen any of the ball in the last 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, it just takes a moment like this. Donner on the run, in transition the one time. It does go off Rodriguez. But Suriname back out to the lead, 2-1 now here with 12 minutes left to go in the first half. Mexico has to be somewhat frustrated by the way things have developed here with all of the possession they have enjoyed. However, when Suriname got the first goal of the game, they came right back and scored within a minute to tie things up. Can they do it again? Applying pressure high up the field here, and the shot is blocked as Miguel Limon hammered it, and he'll now put it back in play. Now he'll leave it, and with so many Suriname players back in front of their own goal, they are just trying to defend, play it away from trouble. Unlike Mexico, they're not doing anything to try and really win the ball up the field of play. And look away the way Mexico is pressing here. I mean, they're not giving Suriname any time on the ball. That's why Suriname has really scored their 2 goals against the run of play in transition, when Mexico has not been able to get their defense set. And that's what often happens when you're applying that pressure up the field. A team like Suriname that's not as technically as sound as Mexico, sometimes they'll panic and just play it up, and there's nobody in the vicinity, and they just concede possession right back to the opposition. Here is Atri playing into traffic, and that'll be a whistle against Mexico. Foul called on Eduardo Davalos. And Suriname looking for a 2-goal lead, and they're gonna hit the post! How in the world did they miss the empty net? A chance for a cushion here, and somehow Ike Adams missed what would have been his second of this first half. Oh, will that come back to hurt him? Adams, point blank, made a terrific move to get around the keeper, Rodriguez, and he missed on the easiest part, which would have been the finish. He had a defender bearing down, but he should have slotted that one home. And so it remains a 1-goal lead coming up on the halfway point of this first frame. Here's Miguel Limon. He tries to get position in closer to the goal, and the shot is dragged wide by Eduardo Davalos. It was deflected, so it'll be Daniel Soltero who will get it back in. He has the lone Mexico goal so far. Now Limon, 1v1. He'll try to draw out that Suriname defense. They're in congested, so tight, and Mexico trying to pull them out and out of shape to create some more space in closer to the goal. Substitution now as Marcelinho Plet will come out for Suriname. And there's a shot that is blocked, fired by Atri of Mexico. And a turnover, and the keeper, Pancho, did well to come out. He was as far out as he's been in this match to make the save, and he really had to be. Otherwise, Soltero could have very likely had the brace. Soltero fighting for it, loses possession. Now Suriname on the counter, but the pass just hit a little too heavily. Now Mexico trying to play quickly before Suriname can get back and get their defense set. Lima. Atri. They work the perimeter. Atri again. In front. Oh, just so much traffic. Always at least one Suriname defender in front of the keeper. They are doing well to stifle this Mexico offense. This is Group A, day number 1 from Nicaragua in the Concacaf Futsal Championship. Coming up later, the other 2 teams in the group, Costa Rica and Haiti, playing in their first game of the competition. We have group play for the next several days before the knockout rounds here in this event. Costa Rica, the most decorated nation in the tournament's history with 4 titles. They are coming up next. And this event not only crowning the next champion of futsal in North America, Central America, and the Caribbean, it is also an event that determines the Confederation's 4 spots in the FIFA Futsal World Cup, which will be in Uzbekistan later on this year. So it'll be the 4 teams that make it to the semifinals here in the event this year that will qualify for the World Cup. Suriname trying to break out of their own end after defending, and they'll get the set piece. For this group stage, there are 12 teams in all, split into 3 groups of 4 teams each. After the single round robin portion, the group winners, the runners-up, and the 2 best third-place finishers qualify for the knockout rounds. Now Suriname, a rare opportunity to play it in from deep in the Mexican end with 8 minutes left to go in the first half, and Suriname holding the 1-goal lead. The one-timer is saved by Alfonso Rodriguez. That could have been headed for the upper corner. That was fired right off the jump by Gillian Matrek. Not a bad idea. Kind of catching Mexico by surprise. Mexico controlling possession with 80% of the ball here in this first half, but trailing for the second time. They trailed 1-0 and now 2-1. Magana gets the pass back. Flips it up. Mexico looking for a lane, looking for an opening. Some way to get the ball on goal with a legitimate chance at scoring. Instead, they have to go all the way back to Rodriguez. Suriname compact but feisty in their defensive posture. And now on the one-touch, deflected, and they score! It is Eddie Sanchez off the rebound. Pancho couldn't hang on to it. And Sanchez gets his first goal, and we are tied for the second time. It is 2 apiece. One-timer, it was deflected off a Suriname player and onto Pancho. That's why he couldn't corral it, as he just had to react, and then nobody reacted to Sanchez, who came in behind the ball and made the play off the rebound. But that's when Mexico has been at their most dangerous, not when they've been stagnant on the perimeter, when they've actually passed and moved. Many times they've been just working the ball around the outside and then looking to make a pass to a man in front of the goal instead of making a pass and then moving off the ball. But that's when they've been the most dangerous, and that's contributed to their 2 goals here in this first half. Here's Giorgana. Now Sanchez, the goal scorer. We've had 4 goals from 4 different players so far in this first half. Giorgana. Set up for the one-timer, and then a shot laced into the upper corner. Miguel Giorgana, what a rocket! And Mexico has their first lead of the game. It was teed up for him. After it was blocked, he just hammered this one. Pancho had no chance here. Absolutely no time to react. And it was just after the initial shot that was blocked, the ball was laying there, and Giorgana just took the opportunity and rifled it home. We have our first timeout of the game, coming with 6:19 left to go in the first. So Mexico dominating possession so far here in this game, but now they have their first lead to show for it. As Suriname scored early in the first few minutes. Mexico responded right away, but then Suriname, against the run of play in transition, got another goal. But now Mexico with 2 unanswered, and they are on top here, 3-2 in this first half. Group A taking place here in Nicaragua. The 8th edition of the Concacaf Futsal event. And now after the timeout, after the goal, away we go. Suriname trailing for the first time. How can they go from that defensive-oriented philosophy and all of a sudden try and be more aggressive in playing offensive futsal here? Eddie Sanchez. Now the most recent goal scorer, Giorgana. Magana. Taken away from Sanchez and knocked out. Sanchez will play it back in. Threaded through defenders, on the turn, they score their 4th. Luis Magana gets his first of the day. Off the entry pass from Sanchez, Magana, the turn wasn't the most powerful shot, but the placement was inch perfect, and it was actually through the legs of the defender. He gets the nutmeg, and the keeper, Pancho, looked like he was screened on it. So, the first 2-goal lead for Mexico, and we've got 6 goals from 6 different goal scorers here in this first half, coming up on the last 5 minutes of the frame. So a little more breathing room now for Mexico. 3 unanswered goals since they trailed 2-1. Mexico all-time in this competition with 11 wins, also 11 losses and 3 draws. So looking to go over the 500 mark here with a win today. And they are just muscling Suriname off the ball when the team in red gets possession. Hard to defend for this long. It was unrealistic to expect their 2 different leads to hold up coming so early in the game. That was good aggressive play by Angelino Sastromedo for Suriname, but in the end, he just couldn't hang on to it. Mexico with 4 goals, and now 4 minutes left to play in this first half. Looking to become the first team to get a win here in Group A. And now Mexico really in no hurry, just working the ball near midfield. Taking some time off this clock and getting a free kick. Now Mexico has only ever been to one Futsal World Cup, and that was over a decade ago, back in 2012. From this Concacaf region, the U.S. has been there the most times, followed by Costa Rica and Guatemala, as well as Cuba. The traditional powerhouses in this sport in the Concacaf region. There will be 4 teams that qualify from this event here this year and take part in the World Cup in Uzbekistan in September. After a somewhat shaky start in the first 5 minutes, Mexico has taken control. First half of their first group stage game, leading 4-2 and closing in on the final 3 minutes of this first half. Arguello swings it over, and Limon will lose possession for Suriname to play it back in. Suriname having more difficulty in finding opportunities, and that was just a mistake by Mexico. Defender losing his balance. And the one-timer is blocked. These 2 squads, as well as Costa Rica and Haiti here in Group A. Group B features Panama, Cuba, Canada, and the host nation of Nicaragua. And Group C is Guatemala, the U.S., Trinidad and Tobago, and the Dominican Republic. 12 teams, 3 groups, 4 teams each. Pretty nice and tidy here. Simple format. Single round-robin play in the group phase, and then on to the knockout rounds with the quarterfinal, semis, and championship matches. Now you can just sense that the tempo and the energy has been taken down a level by Mexico since they've gone up by 2 goals. They were really pressing first to tie and then take the lead earlier, but since then they've taken their foot off the gas somewhat and kind of content with the way things are. Now they get the turnover. 3-on-2 here. Can they go up by 3? That's a good recovery. And now Suriname giving it right back to them. They had an opportunity on the counter, and Mexico concedes possession. So neither team all that sound in possession at the moment, and there's an opportunity for Suriname that goes by the boards. They will maintain possession, however, right here, as it's knocked out by Rodriguez. Under 2 to play, and a 2-goal lead here in this first half for Mexico. Mexico led by head coach Juan Pablo Vivanco. Well, it's Prashad Parmesar, who is the manager for Suriname. Giorgana. Oh, that's a clever flick. Nicely done by Luis Magana. But Pancho was ready. Coming up on the final minute of this first half. Can Suriname close the gap? Under a minute now to play. Lifted over the top. But you see just how few red shirts are up the field. Typically just one player even close in the vicinity of the Mexico goal. You just have everybody back. One timer off the ball played in, and not even close. So Suriname not really generating quality, authentic chances here as this first half winds down. And Mexico, for the most part, just content to run it out. Half a minute left to go. Can they tack one on? The important thing for them is just don't allow a sloppy transition opportunity for Suriname to steal one back. Kind of like in basketball, just take it down and play for the final shot. Good turn, but a turnover. So Suriname with 10 seconds to work with here. Lobbed ahead. And there will not be a final shot here at the end of this first half. So an eventful first 20 minutes in Nicaragua as Suriname took the lead on 2 occasions, but Mexico coming back and showing their quality late. And at the end of the first 20 minutes, it's Mexico with a 2-goal lead. 4-2 is the score here in Group A. here in Nicaragua as the second half is about to commence. Mexico with the 4-2 lead after the first 20 minutes here in this first game in Group A at the Concacaf Futsal Championship. 6 goals from 6 different goal scorers in this game. Suriname had the lead twice in that first half, had a chance to take a 2-goal lead, but in the end it's Mexico with a 2-goal lead headed towards the second half of play. So a little bit of everything in the first frame. And now Mexico trying to keep the pressure on here as the second half will begin in just mere moments. And then coming up a little bit later, the second game from Group A featuring Costa Rica and Haiti. Of course, Costa Rica, the team that has the most medals of any nation in this tournament's history with 4 titles altogether. Suriname will kick off to get this second half underway. These two nations meeting for the third time, and both have a win over the other. Suriname won 5-4 during the group stage in Guatemala back in 2021, and coming out firing here in the second half today, trying to get back to within 1 as they trail Mexico. That was the most recent meeting some 3 years ago. Mexico trying to win for the second time over Suriname, and in a good spot here. For Suriname, the question is, can they find a way to spend more time on the ball? Can they create more chances? Can they do more than just defend here? And how vulnerable will they be if they come out and try to apply pressure closer to midfield instead of sitting back? Do they leave themselves open? And can Mexico take advantage of those spaces to add to their lead? Suriname got their 2 goals in transition, but as that first half wore on, Mexico closed down those transition opportunities by not losing the ball high up the pitch. And a player hobbling, that is Daniel Soltero for Mexico. He scored their first goal. Looks like he got hit awkwardly from behind. And for Mexico, they just tightened things up. Were stronger in possession, not giving the ball away cheaply, and that minimized Suriname's opportunities to hit on the counter, where they are the most effective. If they can pretty much do here in the second half what they did for 3/4 of that first half, they'll be in good shape. Suriname player down here, and that'll bring a whistle. Now that is Ike Adams, who scored the first goal of the game. And he was also the player who had a chance to add a second with an open goal. He had beaten the keeper, the net was empty, but then he hit the post. If he scored that, it would have been 3-1. But it stayed a 1-goal game, and Mexico has not allowed Suriname a good chance since then. They've scored 3 unanswered. 8th time in the tournament for Mexico. It's the 4th appearance for Suriname. Another player going down for Suriname, and now Mexico conceding a little bit more there, but confident in their ability to defend. That certainly makes a difference. And it also opens up some options when you do have a 2-goal lead here. That's a good give and go, and that's an even better save by Pancho. Sham Pancho with a terrific stop. It'll be played in from the corner by Abraham Atri. Only 1 goal for each team coming from a starter. 3 of the 4 for Mexico have come from players that came off the bench in the first half. But not really a surprise. This is a pretty deep Mexico squad when it comes to talent and players who see minutes. Player coming out for Suriname, that is Gillian Matrick, who will exit. Seems to be kind of holding his face a little bit as well. Chipping it long. And plenty of Mexican defenders back. That's kind of a risky play. Hard to maintain possession when you play it long like that from deep in your own end. Threading defenders, but then losing possession. Poked away from Sanchez from behind. And played back in here quickly by Trujillo. Mexico very good with their back to goal. We've seen them create some chances so far in the game that way and even score a goal. Suriname trying to get bodies forward. Sestromedo with a shot that caroms out. And it's a foul by Mexico. And whistled on Eduardo Davalos in transition. More of a business type of foul. He knew what he was doing, trying to slow down the transition, so he takes care of it at midfield and allows Mexico to get back and take their defensive shape with the set piece coming here at midfield now. And it'll be Venjaino Sestromedo. He gets it back. All of the Suriname players on the outside. Sestromedo again. One touch in front. And there was contact there. Rodriguez in goal. And Blotz, who was just in front of him. And now wholesale substitutions for Mexico. Sanchez, who has one of the 4 goals for the Mexicans. Sanchez also with an assist here. And can't get to that one as it's a turnover for Mexico. Now the first edition of this event held back in 1996. Since then, it's been held every 4 years. Over 100 matches have been played in this event. prior to the beginning of this year's competition. Costa Rica with the most titles of any nation in history. They've got 4. They are also the defending champions after winning the most recent playing back in 2021 and trying to win this event for the 4th consecutive time. The U.S. won the inaugural edition, and they have the next most wins with 2, while Guatemala is the only other nation to have lifted the trophy. They won theirs back in 2008. So you only have Costa Rica, the U.S., and Guatemala as nations who have won this competition in the past. So elevation for teams like Mexico and a chance for the Mexicans here, but that's blocked in front. Had a defender on the deck right in front of his own keeper. Now playing in transition, a chance to get it to within 1. And not the most high quality of shots there coming from Giovanni Blatz. And it looked like Rodriguez got a piece of it. So Suriname will maintain possession. Blatz would have thought he should have done better, as that one should have been on frame. Anthony Bleed couldn't connect either. So you've got 12 teams in the competition this year, only 3 of which have ever won this competition. And it's certainly initiative for the others as they try to win their first and also get one of the 4 spots available in the event this year for the World Cup in the fall. Suriname dialing up some pressure here. Mexico able to handle it. Magana has to go all the way back. Well, that's a good find in the middle of the pitch. Now Sanchez had it poked away. Good blind pass from Magana, but he knew his man was there. Mexico in control. Now Suriname gets the turnover at midfield, trying to create a 3-on-2, blocked by Sanchez and out. It's so hard to take advantage of the numerical situation and get it organized quickly enough for it to really be meaningful. Shot dragged wide by Nana. That's what Suriname has to keep doing. Trying to find a way to turn over Mexico in the midfield and play on the counter. That's the way they've scored their 2 goals to this point. Give and go, and Mexico has their 5th. Wow, another missile. Upper corner, as it was Eder Giorgana who just roofed it. Playing alongside his brother Miguel. Miguel had his first goal of the game in the first half, and now Eder gets the first goal for either team in the second half of play. And Mexico with their largest lead of the day. It's now 5-2. Well, that's the most effective way to score here. As you make the pass, you get a quick return, or your teammate just kind of tees it up for you. It doesn't always have to be a pass right back to the player who makes the pass. Sometimes just settling it and allowing the player who made the initial pass to run onto it. You leave the ball in his path, and it sets him up for a shot. Mexico has scored multiple goals that way here in this game. And now 4 unanswered tallies for the Mexicans, who have the 3-goal advantage, and just north of a dozen minutes left to go. Seven goals from 7 different players here. Now Suriname off the turnover. Now it's Sanchez, good defensively going down. Sometimes that's the best way to play defense, is to almost go down on the ground, because things are happening so quickly that if you're on your feet, you don't have time to react and stick out a leg. So if you're on the ground, you're in a position where you can stick out both legs and more easily block a pass or a shot. Now Mexico using the entirety of the field to maintain possession and just chew on this clock. Suriname with a player in the middle, and the keeper had come out. Rodriguez has vacated his net, but the defender got back to keep that one out. Oh, that was well done and defended by Daniel Soltero, who scored the first of the day for Mexico, and now on the opposite end, keeping that one off the line. Soltero all the way back to Rodriguez. He'll loft it ahead. Suriname makes a substitution on the fly as Donner comes out. Lorenzo Donner with a second goal in that first half for Suriname. Mexico content just to clear as we close in on the halfway point of this second frame from Nicaragua. Just one goal so far in the second half after we had 6 in the first half. Laid off here. And another roofer for Mexico as they're pouring it on. They've got half a dozen and now lead by 4. Carlos Rivera with his first of the day. Just going high. That has been the theme on the last several goals. And just ahead of the defender who was sliding over. So Rivera becomes the 6th different Mexican player to score here. Biggest lead of the ball game. So after 6 goals in the first half, that's now 2 here in the second half, and both coming within just 2 minutes of each other. So Mexico well on their way now. They should be able to finish this one off. And then keep an eye on the next game here in Group A that will feature their primary competition for top honors in the group. That'll be Costa Rica, the team that's won this Concacaf Futsal Championship more than any other. Costa Rica will be heavily favored over Haiti in the next group stage game. And right now, again, this is just the first day of single round-robin play in the group. But no doubt, it is Costa Rica and Mexico, the 2 most prominent teams coming into group play. They figure to occupy the top 2 spots in this group when round robin play is over. Costa Rica favored to win the group, but Mexico certainly expected to do no worse than second and potentially challenge Costa Rica for first place. Either way, the top 2 teams from each group do advance to the knockout round. So if you're Mexico and you know that Costa Rica is a traditionally powerful club, and Suriname almost gets their third here, but it's smothered by Rodriguez. He tries to go long, and now some end-to-end action. But as I was saying, for Mexico, You know just how good Costa Rica has been over the years. They're always one of the most potent squads in this event. So you know that at least by taking care of business with the other matches, winning the ones you're supposed to, that you're still going to qualify for the knockout round, even though you might not win the group. Second place is good enough to go through. And right now, they're doing just what they need to do here. After falling behind twice in the first half, they are now enjoying their largest lead of the day, up by 4, and just over 8 minutes left to go against Suriname. Given away. Rivera, who just got the goal, will just maintain possession, going backwards with it. Now Suriname chasing more into the Mexico end now. Space opening up as a result, and that is going to be a whistle. And a foul on Suriname. It's going to be a card as well. No doubt, Rocapita trying to prevent a goal-scoring chance here. Just dragged down Rigoberto Trujillo. Maybe worth the card to prevent the goal. Looks like it'll be Miguel Giorgana or Luis Magana. And it will be Magana here. Lays it off. Shot fanned on. Knocked up into the air. A few players collided, including the keeper, Pancho. And now here's Suriname. But the pass was too far for its intended target. Harari. Now Sanchez. Rolled right up the gut. Sanchez plays it backwards. Now lofted ahead. And the keeper comes way out as Pancho was close to midfield there. Harari dispossessed. And he recovers nicely to get it back. Ika Adams, who scored the first goal for Suriname, had taken it away from him. Now Mexico with Sanchez falling down. Harari maintains possession for Mexico. It's going to be a whistle and a free kick for Suriname. Player went down hard for Suriname, and still down is Marcelinho Plet. Kind of just lost his balance as he was trying to find the pass. Oh, fan of the shot. And took the hard fall on that left arm. Mexico unable to work quickly downfield. Inside of the final half dozen minutes here. And Mexico nursing a 4-goal lead. They trailed 1-0 and then 2-1 But since that point, they have ripped off 5 unanswered for this very commanding lead here late in this game. They have controlled possession. They have basically determined the pace of play by just about any metric. They have been the ones that have been the better side here this afternoon in Nicaragua. And they're going to get a well-deserved win for it and look ahead towards their upcoming games against Costa Rica and Haiti. Costa Rica will be the big one. 2 top teams in the group going head-to-head. Now Mexico 3-on-1, looking to make it 7-2, and that's a good save by Pancho. Maybe a little casual by Mexico in front of goal there. That was Miguel Giorgana, who would have become the first player to score more than 1 goal here today. But now he's got another chance, plays it across, and there it is. Finally, one player has more than 1 goal. Luis Magana gets the brace, and he makes it 7-2 Mexico here in Nicaragua. So we had 8 goals from 8 different players, but now on the 9th of the day, finally a duplicate as Magana gets his 2nd, and the lead is now 5. That's going to go out, and the ball belongs to Mexico. Well, don't forget, coming up, it'll be Costa Rica and Haiti in the next game here in Group A on this first day of group phase play at the Concacaf Futsal Championship from Nicaragua. Haiti, the lowest ranked team of all 19 in CONCACAF in this sport. They've never won a match. And they are taking on the number 1 ranked team, a squad that has won this title 4 different times. Costa Rica with 4 gold medals and 1 bronze in 5 appearances. So the top team against the bottom team coming up next here in Group A. 3-on-2 for Mexico, trying to add to their tally here. But it stays a 5-goal game with just inside of 4 minutes to play. Going back to the last championship game of this event, which was in 2021, it was really a thriller. Costa Rica beat the U.S. 3-2. Tight game between the 2 top teams in CONCACAF. And hoping for another similar trajectory here this year in Nicaragua. And it looked like Giovanni Blas just kind of lost his footing there. Slow to get up. Now, among the other teams from the other groups that could be interesting, of course, the U.S. and Guatemala in Group C, but also Cuba in Group B. Cuba has never won this CONCACAF Futsal Championship. However, they have been to the World Cup on 5 occasions. And is tied for 2nd most. So it's a team that's been close several times. They've been the runner-up on multiple occasions, but they have just never gotten over that final hurdle to get the win. So they are as motivated as any club here coming into the event this year. Not only to try and get back to the World Cup for the 6th different time, but also finally win this CONCACAF prestigious title. Inside of 3 to play. Cuba with 4 runner-up finishes altogether. That's the most of any nation. And by far, no other club, no other nation has more than 1 runner-up finish. Now, of course, Costa Rica has won the title 4 times. The U.S. has won it twice. But no other nation has more than 1 second-place finish, and Cuba has 4. No golds, no bronze, but 4 silvers. So Cuba in Group B here this year is certainly an interesting nation to watch. Mexico also a very interesting country here, and starting the way most believe they would. An emphatic, convincing display here against Suriname. And coming up on the final 2 minutes now. Most of the damage done back in the first half, as we had 6 goals in the first 20 minutes. And then just 3 so far here in the second half. But the pace has dropped somewhat as both teams have kind of realized the way things were going to play out. So the same level of energy and innovation has not been equal to what we saw in the first half. This is Blotz. Suriname trying to add at least 1 here to help their goal difference. And they get it! Off the reset there, played in front. Giovanni Blotz, his first of the day. And the first goal for Suriname since the first 5 minutes of this game. Now Eder Giorgata just caught sleeping there for just a moment, and that's all it took. A minute and a half remaining. Here's Giorgata now. You've seen how most of the effective scoring opportunities and the goals themselves have been created through the passing on the ground in tight spaces. It is rare in futsal that you see those balls played through the air leading to anything substantial or any genuine scoring opportunities. This is a sport where most of the success is found on the ground. And here is a very adventurous Alfonso Rodriguez taking a chance, coming way out of his goal here with a minute left to play. That's floated in. And it will be Mexico ball. As we finish things off here, Carlos Rivera to play it back in. He has one of the 7 Mexico tallies on the day. Now Mexico fell behind 1-0, then 2-1. But after that, it was never in doubt. Led by as many as 5. And barring something unforeseen here, they will win by 4. Floated ahead, and now inside the final 10 seconds as we close it out from Nicaragua. 10 goals from 9 different players in the game. And Mexico, a convincing opening win here in Group A as they get the win over Suriname with a final score Mexico 7 and Suriname 3. Only one player with more than one goal here, Luis Magana for Mexico. He had the brace. With Soltero, both of the Giorganas, Eddie Sanchez and Carlos Rivera, the goal scorers for Mexico, while for Suriname, you had Adams, Blotz, and Donner on the scoreboard here today. First game in Group A, and Mexico gets the first victory.
Le damos la más cordial bienvenida a la selección nacional de Haití.
And now let's take you through the highlights from this game. It started out in favor of Suriname. They got the first goal right there from Ike Adams, who was positioned at the side of the Mexico cage. He guides it in. Mexico responding a minute later with Daniel Soltero getting the Mexicans on the board. We were tied at 1, but then Suriname in transition here, the one-timer from Lorenzo Donner deflects off of Alfonso Rodriguez, the Mexican keeper, and Suriname with their second lead of the game had a chance to go up by 2 here. Adams hits the post though, and at that point Mexico really took over as they would go on quite a run here. They would tie the game there through Eddie Sanchez off the rebound to make it 2-2. Sanchez creeping in behind the last defender, Nana, and then they would add another here to take their first lead at 3-2 as it was ripped by Miguel Giorgana. And then Luis Magana with his first of 2 on the day right there, giving Mexico a 2-goal advantage. It would be 4-2 at the end of the first half of play. Slow start to the second half. It would be more the same for Mexico here, as that one was hammered by Edor Giorgana. Mexico led by as many as 5 at one point in this game. And then it was the brace for Magana. Luis Magana getting his second. Had 1 in the first half, 1 in the second. Suriname adding their third late from Giovanni Blotz, who snuck in behind the defender, Edor Giorgana. And once again, the final score in the first game from Group A. It is Mexico 7 and Suriname 3, with Costa Rica and Haiti on the way from Nicaragua.